you know how peas come in a pod? Well, when you get two people whose names start with the letter P, you get two peas in a pod. Salutations, ladies and gentlemen.
Yo, welcome. This is episode 1 of Two Peas in the Pod. Salute, cheers. Thank you for
being here.
To
y'all. Cheers,
listen, man. We've been talking about this for a while, and I guess we finally got the creative juices to move forward and bring to you our first episode of Two Peas in the Pod.
2 of them.
Today we're just gonna be talking about our very eventful weekend.
Very.
Yeah. We had a very eventful weekend.
We watched a movie. What was that?
Black Panther.
Wakanda Forever.
Wakanda Forever.
And then right after.
Literally, right after, went to the crib and saw UFC 281. Great showing.
No complaints.
Yeah, shout out to Frank Yeager. Man had a legendary journey. But yeah, what would you give to start off? What would you give Black Panther out of 10?
Out of 10?
Honest.
My universal answer, 8 out of 10. If I'm by myself, I'm gonna give it more. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Had no complaints. How about yourself?
Same here. No more, no less. Obviously, people are gonna nitpick at it and give them their negative wordings on what's going on with the movie. But nah, I had no complaints. To be honest, the whole Chadwick tribute was amazing. It was a roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah, it was. Action.
Obviously, you had your sad, emotional parts, but then you had your exciting, like, what is happening here? MCU has a lot cooking. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say.
Yes, if you haven't seen it yet, it'll answer a lot of your questions, especially if you're a Black Panther fan. It'll answer a lot of your questions. For me personally, I was very upset about Chad's passing, and I was wondering, will they do that justice? Can we move on from here? And all I can say is, I'm satisfied with what they did. I'm still hurt, but I'm not hurt as much as I was before seeing the movie. They did my man's justice. Shout outs to Black Panther 2. Excuse me, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Listen, all I'm going to say is MCU is in good hands. Kevin Feige knows what he's doing. As much as, the little chirps of, things might be falling apart soon, I don't want to hear it, man.
Big shout outs to Coogler.
Shout outs to Angela Bassett.
Shout outs to Angela Bassett's traps, shoulders, tries, biceps, and forearms. Because God, this was me.
What did I say? What during the movie? During the movie, when she pulled up, first time she pulled up on scene, I said, "Do you see her arms?"
Listen.
Great performance by Angela Bassett.
I need that workout program you're on, Angela.
Great performance by Cool Khan.
Say that again.
Cool Khan. And if you're an enemy, you call him Namor. Ugh. I'm not gonna go deep on that. They'll explain it to you. Obviously, there's some differences from what the MCU has to say to what the comics say. But listen, man, don't be upset. Appreciate what they give you.
We're far enough in the Marvel Cinematic Universe to understand that these are live action movies. And what does that mean? This is a cinematic universe separate from the comics. If you register that there's multiple universes, that should not be hard to get.
Exactly. Not mad at all. But yeah, man. Also want to just a quick shout out Ironheart. Ooh wee. A lot of people didn't like the costume design.
Anyways, I have a feeling, I might be wrong. Me and my fellow have talked about this. We could get young Avengers with all these kids popping up. America Chavez, Scott. Anyways, with all these kids popping up, don't be surprised that we get a young Avengers team. I'm just saying.
It was a great ending to Phase 4. Not gonna lie.
Wonderful.
I mean, obviously they're saying Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special will be the official ending for Phase 4. But to what's to come for Phase 5, we got Kang coming and the next Ant-Man Quantumanium. There's a whole bunch of, you got Secret Wars, you got Secret Invasion. Like, let me tell you, man, it's just going to be a big masterpiece at the end of the day. When my kids get to see where I started to what I want to see, what my kids get to see.
I could not imagine
when it either ends or the next phase comes. It's just going to be unfathomable.
I could not imagine
it's
where
gonna be
they'll
great.
be.
No, it's going to be great, man. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. We're going to be talking like how Brian talks in at Phil's comic. Oh, back in my day type, and I'm not mad at that. It's gonna be a great show. So ending off on that, as soon as the usher came into the theater and said, "There's no more after credits,"
I was dying.
I looked at P and said, "We gotta go." Cause man,
Pew!
we had to go home to go see UFC 281.
Hit the pew!
Literally, like cartoon characters. Headed straight home. Perfect timing to start watching UFC 281.
Yes, sir.
Usually we do have the time to watch the prelims, the prelims, study every fight, watch everything, see how the night's going, because then we like to predict, there's a lot of knockouts going on tonight. There's a lot of submissions going on tonight. Unfortunately, we didn't get to that, but we did get to the best part of the night, was the main card. Shout outs to Frankie Edgar.
Shout outs to Frankie Edgar leaving us with a 23-11-1 record. No one can say nothing about Frankie Edgar. Legendary. Though he's leaving us on a KO, it's irrelevant. He put his name down in the books and he will be forever remembered. Frankie, Hall of Fame, Edgar.
Yeah. Hall of Fame?
Hall of Fame for sure. Easily.
100%. To get into the fights,
who?
I don't know if y'all know this, but we're both southpaws.
Lefties, besties. To see our boy now, obviously, sometimes we get a little emotional because once we see either a fighter that we really look up to or really follow, especially if they're a lefty, a southpaw, you know what I'm saying? We get really emotional. We get really into it. But we try to calm it down so we can see it better and actually be a judge. We try to put ourselves in a judge panel here. Not just a judge, but also a student of the game.
Student, judge, so then we could, fairly judge how the fight is going as it goes on. But Dustin Poirier.
The Diamond.
Fight of the night.
The Diamond.
Mr. Chandler himself. So he put me on. I just found this out basically. When you get fight of the night, both fighters get $50K apiece. Y'all deserved it. Chandler came in first round.
Chandler was throwing them things. I'm not gonna lie.
Full head of steam.
He had me shook. But this is Dustin Poirier we're talking about here.
He's a diamond.
The Diamond. Don't do that.
What happens? The more pressure.
The more pressure you apply to a diamond. Come on. Don't do it.
Anyways, but yeah, round one, crazy. Chandler came out swinging them things. Them sledgehammers was going. Now what's funny is, I'm gonna just fast forward to the end when Poirier was talking about how he throws his bowls around it and not straight.
Poirier made a comment like he was throwing too many looping shots. If he threw them straight down the pipe, meaning down the middle, he would have had me.
It would have been a different story.
Poirier was right here with it. Boop, boop.
But I mean, regardless, it's those hits, even if they get blocked, a hit's a hit on the body. It'll take a rip. As soon as I saw him exasperating all that energy to take him down, to slam him, to the suplex.
That was too much too. It looked great. It looks great on paper. It looks great to do that type of style to a Dustin Poirier, a well-decorated fighter such as his caliber. That's not gonna fly here.
Well-decorated, and like I said before, not just because his name is Diamond Poirier. He literally turns up when the pressure gets put on him. Every time the pressure gets put on him, obviously Khabib is a different level of pressure.
Different.
But every time you want to put pressure with these bad boys,
Don't
toe
do
to toe
that.
with him, it's not going to be a
Look
good
what round
outcome.
it was. He wins in 5-round fouts. He wakes up in the third. Guess what round he won in this 3-rounder?
Third round.
Come on.
Rear naked choke, submission.
Come on. Man.
Beautifully, too. Remember when he picked the ankle up afterwards?
Doing a scramble. You'll see
Chandler
it
goes
in the highlights.
Chandler goes for the takedown. It's like it's practiced every day. It's a drill. He felt it, turns the hip while he's on the ground.
Pushes the ankle away.
Literally lifts it like a lever. Pull the lever! Pulls the lever. Literally, whoop, gets the position he wants, finds his way to his back, rear naked, choke.
Ironic enough, Michael Chandler went for a rear naked and he couldn't get it. Surprising enough from the fighter with the wrestling background. Stop playing with Dustin.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, 50K to both of those fighters. Fight of the night. If you missed it, please go find a way to see it somehow.
Yeah, great.
Who else did we have that night?
We had Carla versus Zhang.
Ah!
Performance of the night for Zhang. Great performance. Unfortunately, I did get to see the replay, but I did miss it. I had to go to the El Baño. So I scrambled to the El Baño, said, oh man, I gotta go. Came back, and all I hear is, oh!
You know how it goes, Joe Rogan and them screaming.
Yeah.
But it was a good fight. The most important part you need to remember of it is Zhang's wrestling. Zhang, who came back from, she needs to work on the wrestling too, out scrambling, out wrestling, and submitting. You deserve that bonus. Sorry.
Naked in the second round.
You deserve that belt, Zhang. Shout outs to Carla, but it's Zhang time.
Yeah, Carla, when I saw the replay, she was putting pressure in the first.
She was, but it wasn't enough. I felt like she was, I don't want to say scared because it's almost disrespectful. Like you were too, it was like, it's like you're on the field of mimes and you're,
Right, exactly. That's you know what I'm saying? Like it just wasn't enough pressure. Like bring the pressure. This is a title fight.
Title fight. Especially for Zhang. If I'm not mistaken, that's Zhang's third time being a title fight. The experience of being 5-rounders is nothing to her compared to a Carla.
Which is crazy how that's a 5-rounder and I'm done. I want to go home early in the second round.
So, shout out to Zhang.
Yes.
And then, what was the main event, good sir?
This is going to hurt me. All right. The main event, Alex versus Izzy. Performance of the night to Alex coming out in the 5th round, TKO. I thought the fight was amazing.
Before you go off, I just want to say the event took place on a Saturday. I made my predictions on a Wednesday.
Oh, yes.
And it all came to fruition.
He showed me.
My gut told me. My heart said something else, but my gut said, nah, this is how it's going to go. Go ahead.
It's funny because he literally pulls it up off his phone before the fight starts, pulls it up off his phone in his notes. And I'm like, did you just write this today? He's like, no, how can I see when I wrote this? Because I didn't. I wrote this on Wednesday. And I said, oh, really? Cool. All right, let me see. Look at it. Literally, the top 3 fights that we just talked about, exactly how it went down is exactly how he wrote it down. Submission. No. You said Poirier is going to get him the fuck out of
I said Dustin is going to dust him. Zhang will be champion.
And Izzy will lose. That's
exactly how it happened.
That's how it was written down.
Dustin got dusted. Zhang is champion. Izzy lost.
And the crazy part is how he lost the same way
Usman did. He was winning.
The fight was in there, like
in his grasp. Not only did Izzy lose it in the 5th, not only did Usman lose it in the 5th, Glover Teixeira lost it in the 5th.
Glover.
You remember? And it's still wild. Again, Izzy Nurmagomedov. That's what I want to call him. The way, sorry if I pronounced that last name wrong. You would have thought he went to Dagestan. The way he was clinching, sweeping, pummeling. I was like, who is this? It was impressive.
Mid torso flip.
All the scramble, winning on the scrambles. Like, who taught you this? Again, he was winning the rounds.
And it makes sense. That's why everybody's saying the easiest champion to beat. I get it. A lot of people are looking at this like, wow, Izzy is not a ground guy. And he was toying with him on the ground. When Alex he's a bigger dude. He's stronger.
Yeah, he is.
What they say? He ended the night at 200, 210.
Oh, 205, 211, something like that.
Something crazy. Versus Izzy's not built like that. He doesn't bloat up like that.
And it's wild. This nigga Izzy is 6 feet. And for this nigga to be a little bit bigger than him, that's kind of crazy.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Wow.
But yeah, it was a good fight, man. It was a good fight. Shout outs to Alex. I got nothing bad to say about the guy. The man came from kickboxing, beat him up over there, said, "Oh, you a champion over here?" I bet.
Even with all that said, nothing changes about Izzy. I hate when a champion or a person who's on the street catches an L in a long time. Nothing changes about how you feel about that person. What was said, Izzy's still a monster, and he's more than capable of taking that belt back. And if they have the rematch, I can see Izzy. I wouldn't be surprised when Izzy wins it back because he was winning it that night.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Would not be surprised.
He'll get him out of there quicker. He won't take his time. Yeah, he definitely won't take his time. I know there isn't much knockout power with Izzy, but he'll find a way.
He can do it. He can do it. But Alex is still dangerous as ever, and Izzy should take a break, come back, and then see what the playing field looks like.
Yeah, take you 3-month medical leave.
You deserve it. He fought. If I'm not mistaken, here's a wonderful reason why Izzy is a great champion. Some UFC, I'm not gonna call out names. They fight once a year. He fights 2-3 times a year. You can't. You're pretty much. You have to respect that because he's literally gambling and losing his belt every time.
Every time.
Salute to that man.
These people that only fight once a year don't even have a belt. But we'll leave it at that.
You know how peas come in a pod? Well, when you get 2 people whose names start with the letter P, you get 2 peas in a pod.